Have you been feeling waves of resentment, burnout, rage? Have you gotten sick in the past few weeks? These are some symptoms I've been noticing in the folks that I work with and experiencing in myself. And just locating us in the times. It's a fire season in a fire horse year, so that's triple fire. And while that might sound scary, triple fire alchemy also happens in fires. And I want to take a moment to speak to this kind of prime moment that we're in for alchemy right now, by sharing that in my background as a Buddhist and also student of Chinese cosmology, how helpful it is to study perspectives that speak to relating to life's cycles, to be able to flow with the changes of the seasons, the times, different spirals of cycles that we find ourselves in. A lot of people come through my door, maybe from a Western perspective, and I, also have had to unlearn many things because we live in a very colonized world that is saturated with Western dogma of linearity, and what is the truth and what is woo-woo or whatever. And yet there's no language for, what happens after apocalypse. So a lot of people come in with this sense of doom, like everything is over. And yet, if I lean into wisdom, traditions, and teachings from the East, nothing ever ends and nothing ever really begins. We are always locating ourselves in larger circles and spirals of time. This is when, perspective is medicine. When times are uncertain, there are teachings that we can lean on that have been based on observation over centuries and centuries, millennia upon millennia. On a practical level, in my work, I find that somatic work is ancestral work. It's not that far-fetched to think that the ancestors live in our bodies. We wouldn't have the skin, the eyes, the hair, the blood, the bones that we have if we didn't have ancestors. But also, I believe that they animate in us through sensations. And specifically right now, I think there's an uptick or an upheaval of unresolved ancestors that are asking for resolution. And if you notice that you are feeling a lot of tension in your shoulders, maybe there's a sense of responsibility and burden that you feel, but also maybe you've witnessed that in one of your parents, or it's a pattern that you see in your lineage. Maybe there's a heaviness in your chest that is depressive and it's deeply sad and grieving. And yes, maybe you can point to what you're grieving about in your life and the state of the world, but maybe it also feels even older than that. Maybe there's a pit in your stomach that feels like shame or guilt. And again, maybe you can trace back to your childhood where that feeling may have started, but also again, maybe it feels like there's an echo of something older than that you may have inherited. I feel that it's an alchemical time to work with the ancestors through the body, and by showing up to tend to the body, to hear its stories, to take great care of what the body's communicating, even on a physical, practical level. And also locating where those patterns are repeating in our own lives through our repeating circumstances, in our relationships, could be to people, it could be relationships to our work or money, or um, you know, just patterns that you may recognize within yourself, within your family, within your lineage. I feel that it's high time in this alchemical fire time to be able to tend to these stories and sensations in a way that um, we can alchemize it. When we recognize the ancestors in our bodies and have this posture of compassion and wanting to support them, they in turn will meet us back and support us so that we can help them help us break through stuck patterns that no longer want to continue in our lineages. So while fire times may feel scary and uncertain, I wanted to come in here and share. It's also very alchemical, and if we can meet ourselves and this moment with some courage and compassion, we might really be opening a very magical new pathway for ourselves and our lineages.